What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another bang. So, man, first and foremost, I want to say it feels good to be back. We back on the motherfucking grind. I have a lot of, real world things to handle. And I also want to say, I know y'all love basketball, but did y'all watch that Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford fight? Man, that fight broke my heart, cause y'all know I'm from Texas and I gotta rock with my boy Errol, but Crawford is a fucking beast, man. Crawford is a beast. But besides all that, for today's video, we will be recapping all the crazy stuff that went on last week. And with that being said, let's get to our first topic. But before I get into that first topic, I want to shout out all the new subscribers. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate all the support. And that first topic is going to be on Bronny James. So, if you guys didn't know, Bronny James, he actually went into cardiac arrest. And I didn't make a video on this because I wanted to just wait, make sure that he was okay and things of that nature before I just bring some breaking news. I wanted to give, the full information. So with that being said, let's switch over and let's get right into it. All right, so we do have it up. And hey, y'all see the title, Bronny James continues his recovery following sudden cardiac arrest. Now, I want to just read into this article a little bit. We won't read the whole thing. I will just give you a brief synopsis if you haven't heard about this already. And I do also just want to, give my thoughts on Bronny James' future. So let's get to reading. Bronny James, the 18-year-old son of NBA star LeBron James, has been released from the hospital after suffering a sudden cardiac arrest during a practice Monday with his team, the University of Southern California. Now, here's a statement from the cardiologist, and it says, thanks to the swift and effective response by the USC athletics medical staff, Bronny James was successfully treated for a sudden cardiac arrest. Now, let's continue. He arrived at Cedars Sinai Medical Center fully conscious, neurologically intact, and stable. And that's great, man. That's great. I can't pronounce this person's last name, but anyways, let's continue. Mr. James was cared for promptly by high-trained staff and has been discharged home, where he is resting. The athlete, who was first taken to the ICU before being stabilized, will continue to be monitored following the unusual medical incident, though doctors remain optimistic. Although his workout will be ongoing, we are hopeful for his continued progress and are encouraged by his response, resilience, and his family and community support. Now, first and foremost, I want to say I'm happy that Bronny is, well. He did overcome that cardiac arrest, and I'm grateful for that, man, because, Bronny, he only 18 years old, man. He's still very young. And with him being so young, and let me pause this before I fuck up my video. But anyways, with him being very young, he still has a lot of life ahead of him. So I'm just happy that, the medical staff was able to get him to the hospital as soon as possible. And that's definitely scary if you are the James family, man. As we all already know, LeBron, he wants to play with his son. He wants to play in the NBA with Bronny James. And with this, risk right here and this scare right here, it could definitely change a lot of things. I don't know how many teams would be willing to take a risk on him now that he had that sudden cardiac arrest, to be honest. Just keeping it real. I don't think too many teams would take a risk on him. And there's not too much reward for it. And I'm just keeping it real. Yes, he's LeBron's son, but just because he's LeBron's son doesn't mean that he's as good as LeBron. And just based on his, his career so far, as a basketball player, it doesn't look like he will be as good as his father. So, man, I just gotta say, this is definitely unfortunate. And, man, hopefully he can bounce back from this, and hopefully no more other health scares come his way. But with that being said, let's talk about our second topic. And that second topic is on my boy, Jaylen Brown. Now, if you guys didn't know, Jaylen Brown, he just signed an extension. So we will go over that extension and let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. All right, so let's take a look at this information. Let's take a look at this extension, man. All right, so it starts off with Celtics star Jaylen Brown is staying put in Boston for a while. Brown and the Celtics have reportedly agreed to a 5-year, $304 million Supermax extension, the richest contract in NBA history. He officially signed the contract Wednesday. So first and foremost, man, I gotta full screen this. Shout out to my boy, Jaylen Brown, for getting to that motherfucking bag, man. You gotta salute anybody getting to that bag. You gotta salute all the paper chasers out here, man, because it's hard to get to that bag out here. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Now, on an NBA level, what do I think about this? I think it was the right move. Now, I know a lot of people ain't gonna like him being the most, the highest paid player on this team and possibly in the NBA as well. But the Celtics had to do it. This dude is essential for this team. He's the second best player on this team besides Jason Tatum. So with that being said, it was kind of a move they had to do. Also, the duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown has shown that they are capable of winning. Now, they haven't won a championship, but besides actually winning a championship, they've been steadily always making it to at least the conference finals. Literally. These past couple of years, it's pretty much always been conference finals, or possibly NBA finals. It's literally been nothing less for the most part, on average. So, with that being said, I think it's a good move. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but that duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown has shown that they are successful. They are a successful duo, so why change that up? Also, they have gotten better. As we know, they got Kristaps, so why not seal the deal with this core of players? I know they will be over the luxury tax, but hey, they going all in, and why not go all in on that duo? They've shown that they are capable of winning. So with that being said, I think it's a good move. Shout out to Jaylen Brown for getting to that bag, showing his worth. And let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is going to be on the Dallas Mavericks. So with that being said, y'all already know, let's switch over and let's get right into it. Now, I found this interesting article on Fan Nation. Shout out to them. And y'all see the title of it. NBA Insider predicts Mavs starting center, Powell or Holmes. Who do I feel like will be a better starting five? Now, me personally, I think Richaun Holmes would be a better starting five. I do think that Powell might be a better roller, slightly. But besides that, I do think Richaun Holmes, he provides better interior defense. And this is just me talking off the dome. But I do just want to see what this NBA Insider predicted and his thoughts. So let's just read into it, man. Let's read into it. Alright, so it starts off with, we've officially reached the most quiet point in the NBA offseason where most of the free agency dollars are dried up and the countdown to the 2023-2024 preseason has begun. On Friday, NBA insider Mark Stein hosted a Q&A with his Substack subscribers answering questions about all things NBA, including the Dallas Mavericks offseason. When asked who would be Dallas' starting center. If the front office was unable to acquire an upgrade before the start of the season, Stein had two names in mind: Dwight Powell or Rashawn Holmes. Now, let's get to it, man, because this what we really want to see. What's his reasoning on why either one of these players should start? No. It starts off with, my instinct is that Powell will have the edge because of familiarity with Luka, Stein said. That's a statement that many Mavs fans may not be excited to hear, being Mavs GM Nico Harrison made it clear of Dallas' intention to upgrade both their rebounding and defense at the center position this offseason. Now, I agree. Y'all know I'm a Texas baby. I'm in Dallas, and I would not really like to see Powell starting as a center. I'm going to just keep it a band. I do feel like Rashawn Holmes, he provides better rebounding, definitely. And I do feel like Rashawn Holmes is naturally the bigger dude, you know. So with him naturally being the bigger dude, it could provide better interior defense. And we know that's something that Powell struggles with a lot. Interior defense, he's just a little too small. He used to be pretty athletic, but due to the injuries, he has lost a lot of that athleticism. And me personally, I would just, I would lean more towards Rashawn Holmes actually starting. That's just me personally, but I do understand that familiarity does play a part. Certain players coming in, they are not going to know when you're going to pass the ball, or when Luka is going to pass the ball, to be more specific, or when to cut for Luka, things of that nature. So I do understand that, but that's what the preseason and that's what, practice is all about, getting familiar with other players. So I would definitely have Holmes starting, not Powell. I have Powell coming off the bench, but that's just my thoughts. And with that being said, let's move on to the final topic for this week, and we will stick with the Mavs. This topic is still on the Mavs, and it is about Josh Green. Now, if you don't know about Josh Green is a young player for the Mavs who has shown a lot of potential upside. So with that being said, let's take a look at this article I pulled up for you guys, and let's get right into it. Alright, so I do have this article up. Once again, this is from Fan Nation. Shout out to them. And let's take a look at this article. Josh Green contract extension. What price is right for the Mavs? So, like I was saying, I gave y'all a little brief synopsis for Josh Green. Josh Green, pretty good player. Great defensively for his age. Pretty strong build. And he could be a little better offensively, but he's young. So, of course, he can, continue being better. But anyways, let's read into it, man. Alright, so it starts off with, nothing can help an NBA team become a true championship contender quite like homegrown talent developing nicely while being on cost-controlled contracts. That's something the Dallas Mavericks haven't had a lot of over the last handful of years, but they seem to have a good chance of having it now with young players like Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, Derek Lively II, and Max Prosper on the roster. Green, who was the 18th pick of the 2020 NBA draft, has improved every season since then. Last season was his best yet, as he averaged a career-high 9.1 points, 3.0 rebounds, and 1.7 assists while playing 25.7 minutes per game. In 60 games, Green shot 53.7% from the field, 40.2% from deep, and 72.3% from the free throw line, all career best. Now, y'all hear them stats, man. And I do just want to note this, man. Those are some good ass stats for a player that's pretty much going into his third year. I know the points aren't that high, but the efficiency is great. 53.7% from the field, 40.2% from deep. That's great. Of course, he does need to work on his free throws. It's around that 72% range, but there's a lot of potential in him. And I think the way that, you know, the Dallas Mavericks could really build on that potential is just giving him the ball more, letting him, you know, start to run more pick and rolls, offense, and just offense in general. Let him touch that ball more. Let him control the offense more. Run more plays for him to, you know, come off that wing or come off a curl and get that open shot. Things of that nature. I feel like that would really help develop him even more. And of course, you know, the defense is just naturally there. Most players are born with good defensive instinct. So with that being said, the defense is more than likely going to be there his entire career. Only thing that'll slow him down is just age. But anyways, let's continue back to the article. Alright, so what's a good price for my boy? Let's see what they got to say. Alright, so let's start off with, in 2020, the Mavs signed Green to a 4-year rookie contract worth a total of $13.6 million. Now, with Green having shown real potential as a key 3-and-D wing for Dallas, he could be making near that amount annually on his next contract. Let's continue reading. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, the Mavs are expected to soon open contract extension talks with Green after it was agreed they would begin later in free agency. And according to ESPN's Tim McMahon, the full mid-level exception, which is $12.4 million annually, could be the floor for Green when he comes to his market. Alright, so me personally, I like that amount. But they do continue on by saying this. Given that the Mavs recently acquired Grant Williams from the Boston Celtics, giving him a 4-year, $54 million deal in a sign and trade, we say that's about the sweet spot for a potential Green contract extension. Statistically speaking, Williams and Green had similar numbers last season, and although their size and play styles are different, the more 3-and-D wings a team has on their roster in today's NBA market, the better. And I completely agree. The only thing is that I feel like they may, you know, give Green a slightly lower offer, just because with Grant Williams is a little bigger, so he provides a little more defensive versatility. But, you know, Green, he is a younger player. He's definitely a younger player. So with him being a younger player than a player like Grant Williams, it provides more upside for him to continue growing. So with that being said, I think that's a good move. I definitely think it's a good move. Hopefully they could pull a Austin Reeves with Green and, you know, get him on a favorable deal. I definitely hope they could do that. But man, to be honest, it haven't been much going on in these NBA streets, and I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I know it wasn't too much, but it was a lot of stuff to just, you know, think about when it comes to especially the Dallas Mavericks, you know, the Celtics, and Bronny James. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, like the fucking video, comment on the motherfucking video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.